I think I am the most happiest person today because the vision with which it has been started, I think it is very satisfying and it looks, I believe that the small steps what we have taken at that point of time with the support of government, more particularly NABARD, Chintala Garu, and as well as the hub team. I think as they have mentioned, we started it in COVID time. It was a very challenging time. There were instances also people were thinking, what is this nonsense this vice chancellor is doing? Because it was not within the mandate, within the mission of the university. Okay, so that was the thinking. But sometimes idiotic ideas also prosper very well. So it was a disrupting idea, what we call it as. So we wanted to disrupt the ecosystem at that point of time. So we took this bold step, and that bold step actually fructified by the great support what we received from the NABARD. There were challenging times at that point of time itself, because there was an agri-hub just half a kilometer away from us. The idea. Okay. So while they were asking why this another hub is within the half kilometer range. Okay. So there were this was a challenge. So that is where actually this idea was born. That is agri-hub with spokes. So we wanted to be different from the hub what we had half a kilometer away. So the NABARD asked us, what is this distinct attribute this hub has? So that is how we ventured into this idea of agri-hub with the spokes, wherein rural innovation hubs will be established. Of course, at that point of time, other initiatives taken by the university officers in terms of one district, one commodity, establishing say what we call food processing units here, like oil, like dal mills and other mills have been added to this. That's how it has been built. So I'm happy that this rural innovation spoke has come into the reality. Now, I don't want to say what we call say what Raghuram Reddy was saying. He was my student. Okay. So I just want to ask you, what are the two greatest innovations this country has seen in the last 3 or 4 decades? So that is the problem. This is actually the problem. That means you do not know. That means all the speakers have spoken since last 2 hours. I am sorry to say that you have not given the definition of innovation. What is innovation? What is innovation? So say for example, the guy who has spoken last, he has taken an innovative service to the farmers. Drone service is an innovative service. Application of pesticides are not new. Application of pesticides was known to us for a long time, but we were using a sprayer. Now this man has brought a solution wherein, say he is using drone, so the innovative service he has brought to the farm. So any product, any process, any solution that actually disrupts the existing ecosystem and helps to increase the effectiveness, helps to increase the competitiveness, helps to increase the economic value, helps to increase the social value, that we call it as an innovation. So the two greatest innovations that we have is one you have in your hand, that is the mobile, and the second one is the Aadhaar. Aadhaar was the greatest innovation actually. Till date, no other country had this much, so what we call digitization of individual. So actually earlier, when we first opened the bank account, we have to run through the people. Can you sign for us? Can you to open the account? Can you testify for us? So it used to take few days to open an account. Now you can take your Aadhaar card, you go to the bank and you open an account. Okay, so for anything, say what we call any identity, you don't need other person's help here. So that is an innovative way of telling of your own, so what is your identity and so on. So these are the two greatest innovations. This is one. Then another important thing is what actually, say the success of Singapore is because of innovation. The success of Vietnam, which has been completely destroyed by the Americans, and within a very short time, they could again build their ecosystem. That is due to innovation and entrepreneurship. Okay, why today China has reached that? I don't know how many of you know. 1985, our economy and Chinese economy was the same. No difference, exactly the same. And today, we are at 3.5 to 4 trillion, and whereas China is at 18.5 trillion. How this has happened? How this has happened? I am very happy. We didn't understand the second guy, Anjaya. He has made a very valid point. Why today China was able to reach that stage? Actually, he has told the answer. So if you want to, that of course, policies, liberalization, all this matters, but you need to have people in the country who can understand the innovation. So if I have to put a factory, I need workers. So if I need workers, I need to train him to manufacture this way, that way, my design is this. And there should be a person to understand it. So to understand it, you need skill. To understand it, you need education. To understand it, you need, say, what I call enabling environment. You need a policy supporting it. Okay, so keeping that aside, assuming that you have a policy, you have, say, this one. So you need skilled people in this country. That is where this hub has a role to play. That is where the importance of innovation comes into the picture. Then infrastructure. I am also very happy to see, because though I came here several times while this construction is taking place, first time I am coming to this, what we call altitude. So there was a single point agenda for me that the colleges what this university has, no other university in the country has. The infrastructure that this country has, physical and lab. Physical infrastructure is one, lab infrastructure is another. So that's how, say what you call, we have pushed, we have actually bulldozed. We have bulldozed the things to make it happen. So one is skilled people. So there is a huge skill gap today in this country. There is a huge skill gap. That is where this, say what you call, so knowledge, infrastructure, policies, say what you call, and talent. I have to, so for example, if I have to attract talent, I need to create a very dynamic working environment for it. Unless I create that, it is not possible for you to actually excel, to get an idea, to move forward, and so on and so forth. Okay, this is one. Then another aspect is, this is a very challenging one. That is where the role of students and as well as the faculty comes into the picture. We are talking of innovation, we are talking of, so what you call this, that. But the issue is, whatever innovation we bring in, that should have a maximum value to the farmer. You have to build a potential value to the farmer in that product, in that process, in that solution. You have to build the value. Unless you build the value, the farmer will not accept it. Now, if you want to build the value, how you build the value? First, then you should understand what is that gap, what is that problem. What is that problem? Unless you have a problem-oriented solution, unless you have a problem-solving solution, whatever innovation you bring in, it has no meaning. It has no meaning. So when you first, so there is a lot of, so what you call, role by the RARS, by the staff, faculty, to actually, and there is a need, madam, I think you have 3 innovations, you have to map now, each innovation hub to what districts it will cater. You have a demarcation. You need to have a demarcation. So from this, because I am seeing somebody has some from here, so you need to have to what district this rural innovation hub caters. So then you need to, the RARS here, the faculty here, the problems in these districts on which the students can actually think, ideate. You can think, you can design a product. You have to nurture the idea in you. That is where when you come with that idea here, these people will mentor you. The faculty will mentor you. So that they will connect you to the what you call agri startups if they are writing. So you need to understand the ecosystem. What are the problems you have? What are the challenges you have in agriculture? Don't worry about. So you did not worry about say what you call bringing a change in the entire country. I will address the climate change. Nobody can address the climate change. Forget about that. No, so it is not possible in the near future to address the climate. We are still understanding the climate change. Okay, so but what are the little problems? Say for example, we have three innovators who have one with solution and two with products. So they are addressing the problem in the what you call agri-food value chain. So you identify the problem. Say connecting farmers to the market is a challenge. So if you can come out with a solution where the farmer can be connected to the say what we call markets with some innovation in that, whether you assess the quality, whether you have a product which has a demand. Say I was in America once. I went there and asked. So there was a Tamilian guy also with me. So I was asking basmati rice for preparing. So what we call biryani in our home. Whereas Tamilian was asking some other rice. I didn't understand. So he said that this is the only rice we use in Tamil Nadu for preparing biryani, not the basmati. So they have a special variety for biryani. Okay, so that is so now any Tamilian in the world will use only that rice. Okay, so you have to think in that direction. So you have our parents want to eat rice. They can't dispense with rice. Still they have sugar. They said that we want to eat rice. So you have but incidentally, I don't know how many of Telangana son we have not bred for what you call no GI. We haven't bred that. Our intention was, my only target was, because I know at that point of time when I was a student, Telangana, what you call Tellahamsa, Sureka, IR64 were of 125 days. So our Telangana has a weather conditions which the rice variety should be of 120 to 125 days. So we targeted to breed a variety which is of 120 to 125 days. And that is the reason why we pushed all the varieties. You can see from then onwards, all our varieties are of this range. We also have say mid-late and so on, 135 days and late varieties. But that was because that enables us to complete the life cycle in that 4 months, so that say it would be possible for the enhancing the cropping intensity because we are creating water sources and so on. So that was it. Then we found that there was a low GI in that. Say what we call NIM people were the ones who initially identified that. Then we started promoting it. So this is how. So problem solving solutions are that is where your role comes into the picture. Your ideas comes into the picture. Now here there is another component, that is what we call it as interoperability. So he was talking about say what we call IT software issues or C++, or say what you call, you talk of machine learning today, you talk of deep learning today, you talk of artificial intelligence today. So there are several IT programs which I don't understand, but I know what is my agricultural problem. So IT guy doesn't know what is a plant, what is a system, what is a economic field, what is rice, so they doesn't know. So you are the domain experts. They are the IT experts. So there is a need here. You both of you should marry. Unless you marry, this whatever we are calling as fourth industrial revolution technologies like artificial intelligence, like IoT, like machine learning, like say what you call drones, like say what you call other things like CRISPR technology, like big data analytics. All these you can make it happen only when say what you call you marry. There is another. My thinking is I don't want to marry anybody. I want to be the expert. So there is a need for the university authorities to actually build courses which have this also in BS agriculture. This is the disruption. You think in that disruptive way. Nobody has now such type of courses. So you say that I will have a BS agriculture course where in 1 year I have artificial intelligence, where in 1 year I have big data analytics. So that I come out, because I come out with a knowledge which actually now the society needs. I don't want to do something which that society doesn't need me. If I go with base agriculture, maybe tomorrow the job opportunities are less for me. So I need a skill which actually. So this is another challenge what we have, which we look at. Then another problem we are facing actually. Now he has built a product. Now you have to upscale it. He has built a value to his product. He has built a value for the farmer, but you have to upscale it. How do you upscale it? So this is a big challenge. So while designing a product itself, you should have back in your mind that the product has an ability to upscale. So just doing a pilot and leaving it there. So that means you have to look at the incentives and the challenges of upscaling in advance. Unless you do that, it would not be. Then another important thing is, say what you call building action. Building action means your product should be. Now, the problem with these three people is they have not built an action program. That means now they have come to the university. If they would have come long back, you would have built an action wherein so that the people will be talking about that. Now they have presented it in front of you. Now, probably you will discuss. You will discuss about it. He has done like that. Can't we do like that? Whether it will be useful to the farmer. So I was saying to the Honorable Director of Research here, asking him that why don't you purchase? I was asking the cost. I was asking whether it will be 3 lakhs or 4 lakhs. If I were in his place, I would have said 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs. He said 3,500, 4,000. Okay, so that means you have to, so what you call the value has to be based upon not on the expenditure you invest on the product. The value should be based upon the purpose it serves in the society. So how much disruption it brings. So I was requesting him, why don't you purchase 100 of them and you yourself validate in the farmer's field. Okay, so this is the role. Today people trust the scientists. Today people trust the science. So you validate it and you produce a paper. You produce a success story which actually will be acceptable by the society. Which will be acceptable by the society. This is one. Then say what you call collaboration. So the product should be such that the product or the innovation, whatever you bring, it should attract more collaborators. It should attract more collaborators. So it should be, so what you call more partnerships should be there. So that is another one which I want to tell you. And then there should be an ecosystem-wide action. It is not just, so what you call for one village or one thing, that it should be wide enough. So what you call, so these things actually, so what you call are today, which are happening. So you people, you use mobile. So if you type my name 10 times in your mobile, next time the moment you say P, Praveen will come there. What is it? That is machine learning. Okay, so if you take my photographs at different stages of my life during the last, then you can predict how I will look at 85 years. Okay, so what is important today? Data. So all this happens only because of data. You have to build the data ecosystem. That is where the students can play faculty can play very important role. So you have to build the data. Unless you build the data ecosystem in your colleges, in your universities, it would not be possible to implementing this, whatever we are talking of artificial intelligence or so on and so forth. Why? So, and mind you, people say that data is a new oil. Why new oil? Why it is, say, the oil, the fuel, whatever we are using in cars, if you go on pumping out, it will deplete. But data is the one which actually, the more you use it, the more it increases. The more you use it, the more solutions come, the more value it generates, the more voluminous it becomes. Okay, so that is your strength today. I think these are some of the things which actually I wanted to share with you. and people were talking. There is no dearth of money for these initiatives, I am telling you. I was just referring, when I was talking, I was just referring what are those. Of course, Nabad Madam is here like a bank for us. That is a different issue. So, but apart from that, I was actually referring. I was surprised to see. So what about these things? Because now I am heading another university. Because there was an expiry date here, so I left. So now you will be a competition for me. Okay, I will be a competitor for you. Okay, so UGC has launched at least 3 schemes, universities with potential for excellence. This is one scheme you have where you get money. Center with potential for excellence in particular area. Okay, this is another opportunity you have. For this, the UGC gives money and special assistance programs for research projects, basic science, research and inter-university centers, and so on and so forth. Then Government of India also have, so what we call impacting research, innovation and technology program, IMPRINT. Then Uchatar Avishkar Yojana is another one. Global Initiative and Academic Networks, GAIN is another one. Global Research and Interactive Network, GRIN is another. So there is no dearth of money. Money is available. Only you should have an idea. Only you should have a talent. Only you should nurture your idea. So I was nurturing. Maybe many of my staff members know. So what you call, I was bathing irrigation, I was eating irrigation, I was walking irrigation, I was sleeping irrigation. So for the last 39 years, 39, now 42 years. 42 years I was doing this. So what you call, throughout my life. So irrigation. So that was, I was building, so what you call in my, this one. So I am recognized as a, so what you call, micro irrigation man. So unless you do that, it would not be possible. Yes, agriculture is today very small. And my special request to PG students and the guides who are, so what you call, mentoring them in identifying the problem, in implementing the experiment, and so on and so forth. I think we need to look at the things in a different way. We need all the 3 departments who are here. My sincere request is you need to look at the things in a different way. The experiments, what we are doing. You have to ask questions for yourself. What type of experiments we are doing? Whether they fit into this innovation concept, what we are talking. You have to bring a change in the lives of the farmers. So you work on a small. We need not work on writing 200 pages or 300 pages, 400 pages. The finding that is a question doesn't work is also a solution. Otherwise, I will go on investing on that problem money. So if you find, if your solution, if your result of the experiment is that it will not work, is the greatest solution what we are bringing. Okay, so choose problems. So what you call, what actually you can bring a solution to the farmer. So that is also such several initiatives actually we have taken in the university. So whether it is, I don't know how many of know the drone, whatever standard operating protocols that are there in the country today are the contribution of PJTSA. We were the first actually to work on the standard operating protocols at what height the drone will run, what speed the drone will run, what pesticide to be used, for what crop to be used, how much water to be used, how much concentration to be used, what pesticide to be used. All this has been done by the PJTSA and they have just copied this and released it as a national document. Okay, that is one. Then number 2, we were the first actually to show to the people with regards to agro-photovoltaics. That means growing crops below solar panels was another initiative which we have taken. And so what we call the central instrumentation cell was the another initiative we have taken. So there are several such initiatives. I think you should look into these aspects and help yourself. Nobody will help you. Let me be very clear. Nobody will help you. You have to help yourselves and be bold. And so what you call, don't. I always saw that the students have a what you call mental setup wherein to tell something you think twice what other people will think. This is the stigma you have. I think you have to come out yourself, you should so what you call agriculture students are no way so what you call lesser than any other campuses. So I think the sky is the limit. God bless you. I wish you all the best in your life. Thank you.